YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy D.SHELTON, man. We back with another video. We back with another reaction, man. We got 27 new sealed documents has been filed against Lil Durk. Now, this is new news to me. I just happened to have been scrolling on YouTube and I came across the video. So we finna get into the video, man. We finna break it down. Let's see what it's talking about. Shout out to Hookah Anonymous for the video. Let's get into it.
Live, and that also started a whole big thing on social media where people was trolling, so forth and so forth. Not to mention potential wars being started, extraterrestrials, presidents this, Elon that. Let's just, at least I haven't seen. Now, as most of you already know, Chicago rapper Lil Durk have been arrested and charged with M for hire, alleging that he's the mastermind behind the unaliving of Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pap. Lil Pap was shot and unalived back in August of 2022 when him, Quando Rondo, and others were ambushed at a gas station in LA. Police had no suspects at first, but y'all know with the culture of today, people can't do anything without letting the world know that they had some type of involvement in it, even if it is crime. With that being said, a certain group of people began throwing subliminals around, hinting that they are the reason why nobody could say Sly for Var no more.
And I'm gonna say this: I ain't got no problem if if you in the streets, you gonna do what you do. You know you gonna deal with it. If you go out there and catch that body, you gotta, you know me. It is what it is. But don't get on the internet and brag about it. Like, that's the only problem. Like I said, if you gonna be in the streets, stay in and keep it in the streets, bro. Don't, like I said, don't get on the internet and brag about it. And then when y'all get caught up, then y'all want to say motherfucking snitching and all this other stuff, and y'all be trying to fight for your life in jail. If not, like if it was that, it was that, bro. Y'all did what y'all did and keep it, keep pushing. Sorry for pausing so early, but
and basically stating that it's because of Lil Pap situation. And with a bunch of social media evidence on top of whatever else they had, they would arrest O-Block members OTF Didi, Vonnie, and 3 others, tying them to the shooting incident involving
I don't think they from O-Block.
I think we all knew it was coming, and they should have as well, when an update was put out that the shooter involved members from a group in Chicago. Because a day or two after that update came out, they were arrested in October of 2024. Now, the update would allege that 5 men went across state lines, traveling to track down Quando Rondo, and they even had surveillance photos showing the cars used to trail the SUV Quando and others were in before stopping at the gas station. It said that when they stopped, the suspects hopped out of a white vehicle, shooting at their target and sped off. After they were arrested, a month later, Lil Durk was arrested in November as he was accused of orchestrating everything from a distance and paying the suspects involved. Now, Durk was also accused of trying to flee the country, having his name attached to many flights to allegedly confuse law enforcement.
Right, that's why they won't let the nigga out on bond.
But it didn't work. All it did was worsen his situation and got him labeled a flight risk within that case, which is one of the big reasons they all highlighted when it came to him not receiving a bail, so he has to actually stay incarcerated until his trial. Right. Lil Durk was scheduled for trial in January of this year, but for some reason that haven't been explained to us, it was pushed back all the way until October of this year. Now remember that, because we're going to get back to that, as it's important as to why I think these sealed indictments were actually presented. But aside from the rescheduling of the trial, he was allowed and tried to get a bond until his trial date in October 3 times, and it was denied all 3.
So 3.
Now, a lot of people, including us, found it very, very strange that he was allowed to get 3 bond hearings all in less than 6 months, and the last one he received was just weeks after the one before that. In which, if you know anything about the court of law, that within itself is very, very strange. Now, that last bond hearing he had in May, which he was denied in June, with October just a matter of 5 months away, I don't think it makes any sense to attempt to get out anymore, because what we don't see is that those hearings also cost Lil Durk a lot of money. I'm unsure how much, but he does.
And that was the sole purpose of them doing it. They was trying to extort, like I said, after the last bond hearing, an article came out talking about he gonna have to give up everything for him to even get considered to be released. And they weren't gonna release him. They was probably gonna just make him put up the money and keep him in jail. Like I said, it sounded good to get out and like, bro, but like, what you getting out and fighting it for, bro? You gonna have to come back to court anyway, so you might as well just stay in there and do it. Like you said, they was just extorting him, bro. They was trying to get milk all his resources out of him. So if he did get out, he ain't got nothing. He can't do nothing. He ain't got no money. Like, come on, man.
He does have a team of attorneys working for him and have a celebrity attorney by the name of Drew Finland, who labeled himself the $1 billion lawyer. So you must know that anybody going by that moniker must cost a lot, and on top of that, his resume is leveraged within itself, being that he also represented our current president, Donald Trump. So that should just go to show that I'm sure he's nowhere near cheap, and to have to keep paying to appear in the courtroom where you're being denied back to back is basically just expensively draining because you're wasting money. Now, I know it's easier said than done to just tell someone to stay inside when you rather have freedom like we all will, but if he wasn't able to get out with not one, not two, but 3 tries, then I think it's something big of a reason why them people may want to keep him. Now let's get into what I'm actually referring to when it comes to this update that has been put out there concerning this case. Now remember, we said that it was strange that Durk's trial was pushed all the way back so far when he's already been arrested and charged. So what would be the holdup? What would be the reason to reschedule someone's trial all the way from the beginning of the year to almost the end? Keep in mind he was arrested in November of 2024, which will make it almost a year he would have spent in there prior to his trial. Well, it said that a motion of continuance was filed within that case, and both the prosecution and defense agreed on it, stating that more time is needed to prepare. And if you don't know what a motion of continuance is, Google will state that, quote, "A motion of continuance is a formal request from either party to the court asking it to push back a hearing or trial date. A continuance grants a party additional preparation time before or during a trial. Both the prosecution and defense can request continuances, and sometimes even the court can order a continuance of its own accord. Now, this motion can either make or break both sides in certain cases, but they both agreed to it, so who knows?" Now, according to Google again, when asked why most trial dates are pushed far away from their initial date, it'll say, quote, "The main reason for a trial date to be pushed back is often the need for additional time to prepare, which can include securing witnesses, conducting investigations, or addressing legal issues. Other factors may include overcrowded court schedules or the unavailability of key evidence or witnesses." Now, the reason why I laid all that out for y'all is because I want y'all to be familiar what this is so you can understand why we trying to point out the point we making when we speak on this update concerning Durk's case, as it's been revealed that 27 new documents have been filed under seal in his federal case. Which means more than likely the public or anybody else, if I'm not mistaken, including the defense, wouldn't be able to see what's going on, and no names or anything considered as evidence will be redacted. Now that's one way, but another could also mean that somebody is telling. And usually that's
you crazy as hell to think ain't nobody telling. Like, cause it ain't too many people built to stay in jail for life. I don't give a damn how tough a gangster you think you is, how many bodies you didn't call. Ain't nobody really trying to go do life in jail, bro. So you crazy as hell if you don't think nobody is telling on this case.
What that means, but I'm not going to jump into any conclusions just yet. We're just stating the possibilities. Now, right here, as you can see, here's a screenshot of some of the documents filed. Shout out to Rich Rap X, and this is basically showing the documents that were filed supposedly under seal. Of course, it's not detailing what's being sealed because that's the whole purpose of it being sealed and not touched for public viewing. However, if y'all been paying attention to the old videos we did covering this case, I told y'all that this is how the feds play. When they want you, they come to you with an offer, and once you deny it, it's just straight going to trial. There's no back and forth, no pleading. You either going to take this or you're going to trial. And usually when you go to trial, they come with evidence that you never, ever knew they had. And it throws your defense off because you don't know what they have, so you can't properly prepare. And I think this is why they filed it under seal. Now, when everybody seen the evidence that they had in which, you know, Durk's lawyer was doing a good job defending him and saying that it doesn't make sense because it was fan-made videos, everybody thought that was all they had. But like I told y'all before.
Oh, they got the man. They got him on wiretap telling them niggas not to buy any flights, pay for any flights or hotels under the OTF label on their cards. Guess what them niggas did anyway? They still did it. them niggas still made purchases with the OTF label. That's the only reason why if y'all heard when they first got arrested, that's what was the main thing they stated, that they got paper trails of them booking flights under the OTF label, and they got taps of Durk telling them niggas not to do it, but they did it anyway. Like,
or the feds are not gonna come half-stepping. They just gonna show you the little bit that they have in the beginning because they don't want to burn everything out for trial.
Right.
As y'all can see, they brought new whatever they got and it's sealed, so we don't even know what's going on. And as y'all know, the feds don't come to play because they have a near perfect conviction rate. So they pretty much know what they're doing.
Yeah,
now, speaking of sealed documents, it's almost like karma is coming right back around. Because something that stuck out to me was the fact that if y'all remember the case that Lil Durk had with King Von, where they were hit with attempted M charges for the situation in Atlanta, he also had sealed documents within that case, and it was rumors that he may have cooperated, allegedly. Yeah, this is because it was said that 2 witnesses pointed Lil Durk out as a shooter, and surveillance caught him on camera, allegedly, followed by him being spotted as the driver of the SUV using the shooting prior. His lawyer argued that Durk wasn't visibly seen during the shooting, and the photo of the arm hanging out the window doesn't determine that it was him, whether he was the driver or not. Fast forward to after King Von's passing, it will come out in 2022 that if Von was still alive, he would have been indicted for the shooting per Fannie Willis.
For sure.
They never really explained why neither.
Von definitely would have been in jail. If it wasn't for that, they were trying to pin an FBG murder on him too. So he would either been in jail for that or the FBG murder. Like, that's for sure.
Just stated that it was no reasonable evidence against Durk, which was kind of crazy within itself when he was pointed out by the witnesses, and then to find out that certain documents were sealed after the case, it's kind of strange. So being that the case was dropped after Von passed and documents were sealed, some believe that Durk may have put everything on Von because he was no longer here, which some people may say that's a no-brainer to get out of a case, while others still say that it's cooperating no matter how you look at it. Now, with Durk having these sealed documents filed against him, it seems like he continues to suffer hit after hit after hit when it comes to this case. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Now, the feds claim they have surveillance, witnesses, 230 gigabytes of audio and video, text messages, the whole 9 yards. So who knows what they have or who they have? It may include informants, it may not. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The scarier part is that all these other guys' sentences also was pushed back. We don't know why. Once again, we'll just have to wait and see. Y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about all this.
We shall see. Like I said, I don't know. Like, we gotta be, and I fuck with Durk. Like I said, I don't wish jail upon nobody, but like, we just gotta be realistic. We gotta take the fan out of this, and be realistic about what's going on with this situation and case, bro. Because it just, like I said, bro. They like I said, when he first got arrested and they said what they had, that they had wiretaps and everything of him telling them not to do this, and they just said it. He just said it again. You know how much 230 gigabytes is? Like, that's a lot, bro. So I don't know, whatever they got, bro. Like I said, motherfuckers be too fanned out, want to be fans, want to be real, yeah, we just gotta be realistic, like I said. But we gonna see though. I don't know, like I said, he ain't looking good. I don't know. But shit, I'll catch y'all on the next one though. If y'all can check out my second channel, D.SHELTONTV. The link is in the description.